In this video, I'm going to review the Lorex 4-camera system that comes from Costco, and these are provided to Costco. And this camera system is a 4K DVR with 4 5-megapixel cameras. So it's not a 4K camera, but this is called the 2K cameras, because the 4K cameras will be 8 megapixel, but this comes with 5 megapixels. So it's a upgrade for me from a Swan system I had for 8 to 9 years now, and those were not even HD cameras. So it will be a huge upgrade. And also the good thing about the Lorex is these cameras come with night vision. So if you look at what night vision means, if you have ambient light, it will show you color instead of black and white, which my old camera was black and white. So I'm going to test this out and show you the differences and some of the setup that is required. This was very well priced. I would say that the best prices I could see. So it has 8 camera ability on the DVR, so you can add 8 cameras. It comes with 4 cameras, which is fine for me, and I will add a couple of cameras from my old one. And it has 4 cameras which are 5 megapixels, not the 4K cameras, but that's good for me. And it has a 2 terabyte hard drive. That is a huge deal for these DVRs, because it will hold a lot of your video feed, at least 2 weeks or maybe 3 weeks of video feed. And also it comes with the night vision cameras, of course. And the other thing is it has the vehicle detection and the person detection, so I'm going to test that out as well. And the detection and alert system, so those have been there for a while. And also the other thing is it comes with some wiring. I'm not going to use those wiring for now. And it has a good price. So on Costco, this is in July 2020, and at Costco this is priced at $250. The original the package price was $300, so it's $50 off, and I think it's a really good price range for these type of camera and a 2 terabyte hard drive. Inside the box, it has a few manuals, and I'm guessing these are the cameras, which are well packaged. There are 4 cameras in here. And this is the DVR, and it's well padded, well packaged, and the DVR was packaged very well too, so it has its own padding. And you can see the box. It's a nice looking DVR. The connections in the back, these are 8 video in for the cameras, 1 audio in for the audio camera if you have an audio in the camera, and 1 audio out, 1 HDMI out, 1 Ethernet I'm going to use to connect to the internet, 1 VGA for my monitor, 1 USB for the mouse, 1 power cable port, and also the switch for on and off. So came in the box a mouse, a power adapter, an Ethernet cable, and an HDMI cable. So it is pretty well provided. Here is one of the cameras I just unpacked, and it is a significantly bigger camera than my previous, which was a 720 camera. This is a 5 megapixel which is quite good, and it also has a speaker in the bottom and a light which will flash on someone if you want to. And I'm going to test these cameras first and see how it works. This one also comes with a template to make holes if you want, and also the screws that you can attach this camera with. Also comes in the package are 4 BNC cables. So these are the free cables. Actually, you may want to upgrade it. I have bought better cables, but I have also used some of these. They should work. And I have already wired my connections with my older camera, so I'm going to reuse them, except for one additional camera I'm going to use. Also comes in a separate box is the power for the cameras. So it has one power into 4 cameras. So when it comes, you can have the camera powered here. I've connected one camera and started up the DVR, and I'm going to set up the local for now. Or I can set up the network. Actually, I can connect the network setup on this one, and I will follow the instructions. Once I connected the Ethernet cable, it is detected that it has internet access. It's going to check for updates. So that's probably a good way to do it. And it does say it's up to date. I'm going to set up the password and continue. So after the setup, I get that the HDD is not available for recording. That means it can't detect the hard drive. So I called the customer support and they walked me through upgrading the firmware, but that didn't help. So I'm going to take the cover off and check for the connection. So in the back, there are 6 screws, 1, 2, 3, and 4, and then there is the 5th and 6th screw, and that should take the cover off. So you can see those 6 screws, and here is the hard drive. So there is a motherboard and there is the hard drive, and what I did is I checked the connections. So this SATA connection is good, and I also checked this one, and I seated them correctly, and I also checked this power in to that one also seemed to be fine. The connections seem to be fine, but the hard drive didn't work out. I'm going to give one more try and then return it back to Costco to get a new one. And the support said either they will send it, it will take 7 days, or I can go return and get a new one from Costco, which probably will be easier for me to do. So I ordered the second one from Costco online because due to COVID, I didn't want to go into Costco multiple times. And I decided to keep the old one just to make sure all the cameras are working and the new hard disk, the DVR will be working. So I ended up putting the new DVR that came, and that worked fine. And it looked like the old DVR had some issues with not recognizing the hard disk. So I also swapped the hard disk from the old one to the new one, and that worked. So it was not the hard disk, it was the Lorex DVR itself. So overall, it is working well, and I'm still getting to use all the features. The settings for this camera, it has 3 different places. So you can tilt the camera with this screw. So if you are tilting this, you can rotate the camera on the axle using this one. So this is similar to, you can open this up and this will allow you to turn the camera. And the last thing is this screw is going to make the camera horizontal or so. So once you mount it, if you find that your camera is not horizontal, you can set with this screw, and this will rotate on its own axis. So this will turn this way or the other. This one will turn angle, so you can angle this with this, and it has grooves in there, so that's similar. And this is going to rotate it on this axis, so you can turn the camera. So it has all the settings. Once you set it up, it's going to be good. You have to probably look at your monitor a few times and go back and reset it, and you will see how the pictures compare. To attach the camera, all I have to do is take the old BNC cable and the power cable, and then put the new camera in and twist it and make sure that it locks in here. And then I have to mount the camera back up. Here I put up the first camera, and it went in pretty fine. I just had to rewire the BNC cables, and the settings were fine. You have to adjust how far you want to lower it, or you have to go back and forth to see how the video is coming. And also it has an alarm. So here is the alarm that is triggered from either your mobile app or from the desktop app, and it should provide you that kind of a slow siren or low volume siren, and also the LED light lights up. This is how it looks with the 5 megapixel Lorex camera. It's obviously much sharper than my previous cameras, and also it is wider. What I can see, it is covering a lot more of my front driveway in there. This is how the picture looks with the Lorex 5 megapixel camera. And if I go to the next one, this is how it looks from the other angle. So it has a much wider stance and wider angle coverage. So I'm seeing some issues at night vision. You can see that this camera is color night vision, which is all good. But then if I go to the next camera, this is also the same type of camera and also in the same light, but this night vision is black and white. So somehow it has triggered the infrared, and that's one thing. And then this camera goes off when the light turns off. So if I turn off the light, it goes dark, and that's the second issue I'm looking at. So after researching on Lorex website and searching for why the night cameras are not showing color, I found that the issue is related to the power that goes to the camera. So if your camera is not powered properly, and my issue was I was powering my cameras, my Lorex cameras, with the old Swan power adapter or power cord. And so once I switched to the Lorex one, it was able to capture the color. So I was able to fix this camera. You can see it's pretty green, and all the colors that are coming up, which is very nice actually. I'm very impressed. Whereas my old camera is in the night vision on the Swan, you can see that there is no color. Of course there is less light on this one. And the other issue is the front camera is the farthest from my DVR, so it is almost 100 feet, and it looks like the infrared sensors are not capable of triggering if the power source is not close enough to the camera. So I'm looking for a new power source to put in near the camera so I can bypass the long cable. So if you have a similar issue, you can switch to a closer power source and test it out. So my front camera is still, when it doesn't have the light, it's still not showing any picture. But I will post another video to see if that works. So I hope that helps those who are having issues with the night vision. Overall, it is a nice surveillance system for a really good price. You won't get 4 cameras with 2 terabyte hard drive at $250. That's what I got. The listed price is $300. Also, I've seen that this price was one time lower at $200. So those are really good prices for a 4K system with though it's a 2K camera, 5 megapixel cameras, but you are getting 4 cameras and a 2 terabyte hard drive, and the software package and the deterrence system, as well as you have alarm and deterrence lights on the cameras. So I would recommend this product. So far it works fine. I have a few issues that I'm going to cover in other videos, and you can watch those videos to see the issues that I faced. And usually sometimes it's a setup issue, sometimes it's an older wiring that is preventing your new cameras to work well. And if you like the video, click on the like button and also subscribe to my channel. I will have other videos on the Lorex camera system and the video cameras. And also, if you have any comments, you can comment in the comment section. I will try to answer those.